one thing that struck me that I've started wondering about lately is, and they emphasized on this program was early on was, of course, Einstein's theory says that gravity is just a warping or curvature of space-time itself.
Right.
But yet, they still have these ideas of gravity particles or gravitons. I'm going, wait a minute, isn't that a contradiction? I mean, I thought gravity was just an artifact, or whatever you call it, of space-time itself.
Not a particle.
Yeah, not a particle, or relying on particles. And so, I don't know where that comes from. And gravity waves and all that.
Well, this means the average person's just totally confused.
Yeah.
You know, you sort of have to wait another 100 years till it's more of a, it's more clear, and then it can be explained.
Part of it is too that they don't know themselves. They're just kind of stumbling in the dark and making theories, and the only reason they're quote experts unquote is because they're more versed in mathematics, and
right?
That sort of stuff.
I was reading in your Scientific American one on the experimental philosophy, how some philosophers are beginning to use experimental cognitive psychology research, experimental psychology, to verify or determine if certain philosophical concepts are real or not. And in reading it, they use the instance of, they use free will as one. For instance, if a man kills his wife and children so he can be with his girlfriend, is he guilty or not? And that kind of thing. And it sounded to me, though, I mean, literally what it sounded like was, it sounded kind of pointless. Like it was another academic sort of measure, but it actually sounded sort of like it was junior high to me. And I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to verify using statistics whether a certain principle applies or not, but it almost came down to the ridiculous. Why you were and so their big conclusion was, that this one big research study was, that people that had more open minds and could see different perspectives, as opposed to people that were closed minded. For instance, the governor of Alabama that says that anybody that doesn't believe in Jesus can't be my friend. I mean, that obviously.
What? He said that?
Apparently so, yeah.
Oh my God!
And so, at any rate, what they determined in the research is that the people that were more open-minded believed more in relativism or moral relativism, situational moral relativism, as opposed to those like the governor of Alabama that just believed that things are set in stone regardless of where and what. And I thought, well, this is something you intuitively know right off the bat. You don't need to do some expensive research to determine that.
Right.
And yet, and the other, I think, is the sort of if you look at edge.org and you read that, you can see where so much of the science is in, all it takes is a series of assumptions, and they can be very tricky to lead you to the wrong assumption that everything's based on for the next 50 or 100 years, and so everybody goes down the wrong direction for the 100 years until it makes no sense. It's really kind of crazy. Well, then they justify it by saying, oh well, science, to be science, it means that you can change. If Newton's theories really turn out not to be true, well, we can change them to fit what is. And to a certain extent, that's true. But then, science is what. This is the reason it's so powerful. Is new products and whatnot. People believe they work and they're true and whatnot. And so that's why science. You believe in science as opposed to.
Well, another factor is the weather. Science has a better ability to show what and understand the weather, if not control it. Then
I don't know about control it. Well,
yeah.
I mean, the thing is, okay, you look at the front that came through last night. Well, you look at the satellite and you see this big series of clouds coming in, and you check the pressure pressures and the temperatures in different places, and you can assume a front's going to come in and the temperature is going to drop, right? Well, that's really, yeah, that takes a lot of, you know. What I find interesting is the hurricanes, because the hurricanes, like the one that hit Veracruz a year ago, it made an abrupt left turn, and they don't know why. And so it's predicted to go up and hit Tampico, and it turns around and hits Veracruz City, you know, because we were there. It was in the middle of September, and you know, so they say, well, we kind of don't know, you know, come on. I mean, a hurricane's got to be obvious, pretty obvious, you would think. You got all the data all over the world, and but why? Well, it's an inexact science and so forth. So, you know. Oh, what I love. Where was it?
I find a parallel there with that in quantum mechanics.
The other one was in Iran. I think they were trying some scientists for not predicting an earthquake or something like that.
Oh no!
Yeah, well, you know, Iran is that way.